What looks like a miracle just happened. Visitorship for the first time in 13 months is up versus the same month last year. But these are lies. They're statistics. They're ways for casino companies to beg you to purchase their stock. We're going to show you how the ultimate source that completely nailed 2025 is predicting things get a lot worse for the city, why it matters to you, and how it connects to the world. Positive signs, right? Visitation to Las Vegas jumps for the first time in 13 months. 3 million visitors, a 2.1% increase over February of last year, came to Vegas February of this year. Sounds great, right? What are we complaining about? And I'm glad the article did state this, that February 2025, compare it to Super Bowl in 2024, no comparison, right? What if I told you that the whole thing is a giant lie and statisticians will get you every time by cooking the books for their benefit? Because I went ahead and meticulously went back to 2023. 2024, 2025, and 2026. Because if you got a 50% pay cut last year, and then this year your boss gave you a 25% raise, you could celebrate the 25% raise, but the 50% pay cut was a historical outlier for you. You have to compare your salary and your income to the year prior to that. Don't compare Vegas in 2026 to 2025, our extreme outlier year where everything made no sense. Instead, let's compare it to 2024. And in a minute, when I show you these stats, it's going to rock your world as to what's really going on. But before we get there, there is one economic boogeyman that nobody's really talking about right now. If you're an investor, you don't like this action. This is NASDAQ today. If you knew what you were doing today, each one of these red bars that went down, and there were literally hundreds of them, that was worth $500 to $1,000 in your pocket. I teach people that. I'll show you how you could do that in a minute. Because if you're an investor, yeah, I'm sure you're real smart and you get that hot tip from your buddy to buy the dip, buy the dip. Are you smarter than Citigroup? Citi cuts U.S. stock exposure. Firm is worried there is no quick end to the war. But even then, it's not these two things. It's all about the bond markets. See, it's this chart here that controls everybody's financial future. And right now, it's at a danger zone, nearly 4.5%. Why does that even matter to you? Well, it's simple. When the fear and greed index gets to like extreme fear, so when we have fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and people don't know what's going to happen next, the US government says, hey, we're the US government. We want to write an IOU. We want you to give us your money. You give us your money, and maybe we'll give you 3% back. But the fear and the uncertainty and the doubt goes up. They say, okay, we'll give you 4%. Then you say, oh, how about 5% back? You give us $100 million for the next 10 years, we'll give you 5% back on that 100 million. It's this number right here, this number that keeps getting higher and higher. You need it to never get past 5%. This number right here, that's right now at 4.475%. This controls your credit card interest rate percentages, your car purchase interest rate percentages, your home mortgages. And this is also business loans that people want to take out. The net result here, you end up paying more for everything in your life. You can't afford groceries, gasoline for your car, let alone a vacation to Vegas. And all these numbers right here, they continue to drop. And we're going to get to these numbers in just a brief moment. But I told you earlier that even though the markets are tanking, you can make money. What's up with that? Well, that's a perfect spot for me to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is me and my own course. It's called 1K a day. Now, my wife and my mentor don't like me showing you this. They say I should paywall this behind my course, but I'm going to show you something for free right now. See, if you just paid attention to every time on this chart that the red bars go below where the lowest green bar is, and you clicked the red button up in the corner, this would happen. Well, look at that. There's 860 bucks. I mean, look at how many times you could have done this today, right? You got one here, you got two here, you got three here, you got a fourth here. You could have just sat out here and just clicked buttons and made money all day long. That's what I teach my students in 1K a day. I got over 1,100 students now. They're spending 15, 20 minutes a day. I got an email from a student today, made $960 this week. You could do the same thing. You just need to know the skills. So sounds good to you, right? Ready to change your life? Then here's what I want you guys to do right now for yourselves. Just click the link in the first pinned comment down below. Go to my website, click on Get Instant Access. For the first 4 people watching, type in the code NEWS38. That's news and the number 38 when you check out. You're going to get the whole thing for $249. That's the final price you pay. Got a 30-day money-back guarantee. But do it before I increase the price, will you? I increased the price last week from $199 to $249. The more testimonials I get, the more I realize it's worth every penny. So tomorrow or Monday, it could be worth $300. Because when we have major CIOs of some of the biggest investment firms in the world saying that the oil price might drive 10% sell-offs on the stocks, and that this risks derailing the buy the dip mentality that people have, you'll see why these positive numbers are completely out of left field and may not apply. And one thing that does apply to you is subscribing to my channel right now. Do it. Come on, just do it. I'll do it in the Arnold voice. I do videos 5 days a week. I live stream on Wednesdays and Fridays. Heck, you're watching this on a Friday. Maybe I'm live streaming right now, the Las Vegas Strip, showing you boots on the ground footage. So let's take a look at how we should really compare the numbers. And what I have here is a very comprehensively researched look at everything that's happened from 2026 all the way back to 2023. And you might be asking, why are we even including any of these years? Shouldn't we just look at 2025? As I explained it a bit earlier, no. It's because when you have a severe outlier, you don't add those into the numbers. We have to compare what Vegas was like before 2025 drove off a cliff in order to get a clear picture of what 2026 should look like to recover from 2025. So when we look at this chart, you might ask, why do we have 4 years represented? Why can't we just compare 2025 to 2026? Well, we have to remember that 2025 was a severe outlier. Outside of the pandemic, it was the largest drop the city had seen since 1970 when they started tracking these numbers. And because of that, February, just February, we have to take a look at 2023 to get a clear picture. Why is that? Because the Super Bowl happened in February of 2024. That's another extreme outlier. So how do they stack up then? 2026 versus 2023. Well, total amount of visitors in 2026 February was just over 3 million, but it was still about 500,000 less than 2023. Occupancy rates in 2026 versus the last normal non-Super Bowl year, non-outlier year, they dropped 0.5 percentage points. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at 2026 versus 2023 in this column, every single category has just tanked, with one exception. This is where you have full permission to shake your fist at casino companies, because the one thing that went up was actually the room rates. In their attempt to make some money back, one thing here, the Strip ADR, average daily rate, has gone up. 2026, the average daily room rate is $207. It was $188 back in 2023, which tells us, quite frankly, that the casino companies know there is a problem, but they know they can get more money out of people who can afford to come here, because this is what Vegas is about now. It's about experiences, not about budget travelers. iHeartRadio, the big festival that goes on every September at T-Mobile Arena and brings in some of the biggest bands on the planet. The Vegas Golden Knights, who draw people from all over the North American continent just to have the experience of watching a hockey game in Vegas. The inevitable NBA expansion coming to Vegas in 2028, mind you, which will do much the same. Bring a sports fan from somewhere far away for the experience of coming to Vegas and seeing the game. Multiple experiences at Allegiant Stadium, be it following your team to Vegas to watch them play the Las Vegas Raiders, or maybe coming in for a giant EDM concert, having that experience. Let's not forget about the Sphere, with people coming from all around the world for the experience of seeing something like Metallica or the Eagles or No Doubt perform. But make no doubt about this, it all costs more money. More and more and more. Those are the experiences that the city wants to sell. They're fine with you coming once every 5 years and spending $5,000. If it means you don't come once a year for 5 years and spend $1,000, the casinos, they still made theirs. And for the rest of us, we have the bond market ever ticking up, increasing our credit card interest rates and diminishing the chances of us owning a home. And as investors watch their investments dry up, except for my students who know they can click buttons and make money when the colors change, learn that skill, find my course, click the link below, be one of the first 4, then it means that the people at UNLV's Center for Business and Economic Research will be right when they predict it correctly so, that Vegas would decrease in 2025, forecasted it out to be flat in 2026, and then fall again in 2027. Now, typically, I'm supposed to tell you to leave me comments and beg you for a clever comment. Usually, I read your comments at the end of my videos, so you guys can have your name in lights. But just for a moment, I want to talk about somebody special that recently left us and went up to heaven. Great friend of our family, Matthew. He passed away just the other day. Now, a lot of you guys might not know Matthew directly. You might have seen him in the chats as Realm Entertainment. He had a channel actually called Savage Tales. He would take songs and make AI visuals to the songs. And he was an incredibly creative person. Matter of fact, Matt is largely responsible for this channel still existing and going full time. During the very first days of this channel, he sent me a box. I'd never seen a box this big before. And it was camera gear like this Panasonic GH2 camera and microphones and camera lenses. And he taught me how to use these things. And he helped me become a better YouTuber and a better creator. So, Matt, I salute you. My heart goes out to you. And I'm glad that you're off to a better place to be with those family members you told me about that meant so much to you. And I thank you for being a part of our lives. And I'll never forget you, brother. And I'll leave you on the same tone I always leave you with. It's a positive tone. It's that we don't know how long we have in life, and so we have to make the most out of what's in front of us right now. I know Matt always did that. And with that, I hope you would subscribe to meet me in my next video. Do videos 5 days a week, Mondays through Fridays. We live stream on Wednesdays and Fridays as well. There's a video next to my head, a couple of them actually. Click on one. I'm sure you'll like it. Subscribe to the channel. And as my mentor always tells me, and I'm sure my friend Matt would agree, just keep swimming.